Hi there! Today we're going to hash out the pros and cons of cultural imperialism, privately owned media, and government-owned media. Let's get cozy and start with cultural imperialism. What is it? S.P. Maines defines it as a process of disproportional influence on social practices and ideologies of one socio-political group on politically weaker and often less healthy groups. So who does it? Well, a lot of cultures. It's been around since the Roman Empire. Do you remember learning the term Pax Romana? There was a period of peace in the empire, but it only came to those who agreed to accept the Roman cultures and customs that were forced upon them. Now, I think that it's probably safe to say that America is the biggest culprit. To test this, I posted a story on Instagram asking for the most classic American food, and the most popular answers were burgers, hot dogs, fries, and pie. Times Magazine and the History Channel are just a couple of the places that tell us that burgers and hot dogs both originate from Germany, French fries unsurprisingly come from France, and pie was first made in Greece. So how is it that the US gets credit for it all? The dominant American culture has washed away a lot of other global cultures. So how bad is cultural imperialism? Well, for the dominant country, a lot of recognition, power, and wealth comes from cultural globalization. It also has led to a lot of technological advancements. When someone finds better medical research, helpful technology, innovative solutions to global issues, it's their duty to share them with others. I also love the idea of inspiring others through our global reach. Politically, for example, America has inspired other countries to adopt democratic systems or overthrow dictators. Whether it be political, religious, or social influences, an imperialistic country can inspire healthy change. However, cultural imperialism also weakens local culture, which Bari and Zuberi dive into in their journal about structural cultural globalization. It also steals workers from native jobs, as they can be paid more by larger, globalized companies. Additionally, it's very possible for the dominant country to take advantage of the power that they have and suppress or even squash down competing cultures, like the Romans did. Now, a major channel for cultural imperialism is media. It's the music we listen to, shows we watch, books we read, etc. Here's a glimpse at the top 50 songs globally. The vast majority of these songs are American, which means that American themes, news, ideas, freedoms, they're invading the minds of people globally. This brings us to the widely debated issue of privately owned or government-owned media. Which one is better? An article from Harvard University titled "Who Owns the Media?" describes some of these points further. If media is privately owned, individuals and organizations are the ones that are paying for and creating the media that we see. This gives consumers the power of choice, since many opinions and viewpoints are shared. We get to choose what we see, what we believe, how we vote, etc. Privately owned media also keeps a check on the government and others that are in power. They expose truth, they share the dirt that they find, and they have a way of humbling leaders. However, as we all know, privately owned media leads to very conflicting, even contradictory information being shared. It can also be very difficult to discern what is true or what is fake news, as President Trump says. Contrastingly, government-owned media is financed, dictated, and managed by the government. The pros of this are that it leads to simple, less contradicting or biased information, and it can shield us from harmful information, especially when it comes to national security issues. But of course, government-owned media is guilty of violating our constitutional right to free speech. It can also be manipulated or distorted to shield us from the truth, and it prevents us from having a check on the government that we need in a successful democracy. Here's a little clip from the former President George W. Bush's interview with the Today Show.
I consider the media to be indispensable to democracy. That we need an independent media to hold people like me to account. I mean, power can be very addictive, and it can be corrosive, and it's important for the media to call to account people who abuse their power.
I believe that he has it right. Yes, the media can take advantage of their influence and distribute fake news or maybe push agendas, but they are vital to American culture, and they shape the way that we live our everyday lives.